All right, so one of the important things to remember when dealing with inequalities is that unlike equations, sign changes are going to give you some issues. You have to remember that inequalities give you a solution set, not a specific one number solution. So changing that sign does result in a change to the inequality. So we'll talk about how that impacts both the solution and the graph and why. So I have negative 5x is greater than negative 30. Very simple one-stepper. All I have to do to solve for the variable x is to divide both sides by negative 5, because negative 5x is saying I'm multiplying my unknown number x by negative 5. So those will cancel out. They result in 1. 1 times x isn't going to change anything. I just have to remember division property of equality. Whatever I do to one side of my equation or inequality, I must do to the other. So I end up with x is less than, so I change my inequality from greater than to less than because I divided by a negative, positive 6, because negative 30 divided by negative 5 is positive 6. So that's my solution. Simple one to graph, but let's talk about why before we graph it. So why do I have to change this inequality? So let's test. So if x is less than negative 6, I can test any number less than 6. I can test any number under 6 into the original inequality, and it should give me a true statement. So let's test the number 1 as an easy test case. Test x equals 1, because 1 is smaller than 6. This should work. So I should get negative 5 times 1 is greater than negative 30. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, and that is in fact greater than negative 30. Now, let's think about if we had not changed that inequality and kept it as x is greater than whatever our solution was going to be. So in this case, if I had done x is greater than 6, any number greater than 6 should work. So I will test x equals 7, a number greater than 6. Negative 5 times 7 greater than negative 30. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35, and that is not greater than negative 30. Negative 35 is further away from 0. It is smaller. It is a lower value than negative 30, so this is untrue, which is why we need to make sure we flip our inequality, because dividing by a negative just changes the direction of everything, or multiplying by a negative. So please keep that in mind when you are dealing with inequalities. Now, last step is to graph. So to graph my inequality, I just draw a number line. This is really simple because you don't even need to worry about the placement of other numbers. Sometimes you'll be given a number line to work with. Sometimes you will have to create your own. If you create your own, 6, that is an open circle, and it is less than 6, so I should be going towards the lower side, which is to the left. So anytime I'm going less than, I'm going to the left. And that is my solution to this inequality.